What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review of the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5, Episode 7. So listen, we are still in the woods, okay? We are still at the lake house for our girls trip. And we left off with them at the dinner, having the crabs and everything at the little restaurant. And somebody asked Ashley about Michael, and she was like, oh, Michael's cool. He went out last night with some people from work. You know, he's got some guys from out of town. They went over to the MGM, blah, blah, blah. MGM is a big, you know, like MGM Grand, like in Vegas, is a big, you know, it's a big casino and hotels right here, right outside of DC or whatever. So when that came up, Candiace and Giselle sort of give each other the look. And so Giselle says, hey, when we get back to the house, Ashley, me and Candiace need to talk to you. And she said, we got some plan to do. We got something we got to work on. Now, if I'm at that table and I hear that, my assumption is going to be, hey, they got something to talk about. I may not necessarily believe the story that they got something to plan, but I would know that they clearly want to have a conversation with Ashley that doesn't include everybody else. The nosy in me would want to know, but the adults in me will respect it. You see what I'm saying? So they get back to the house and Ashley goes to pump. Candiace goes to get comfortable. Monique says, hey, let's everybody get comfortable. We're going to go out by the fire pit, have some s'mores, have a good time. Right? So while they go, and so Monique says, listen, they told Monique, they said, listen, go set the fire up. We'll put the fire out. Y'all go get the fire set up, but we're going to wait to talk to Ashley. And then they even told Monique, listen, we're planning something for your birthday. We're working on something for your birthday. Now, that was clearly a lie. And that was a lot of, I don't feel like they needed to tell, because if Monique is like me, I'm going to be looking for my shit. I'm going to be like, you said you was getting something for my birthday, so where's my birthday gift? You know. But I understand, you know, that they were trying, because Monique kept asking and Monique kept coming back and coming back and coming back. And they were trying to get Monique and the rest of the girls to stay the hell outside so they can have this conversation with Ashley. Now, honestly, there were a lot of different ways that they could have done this, right? But I understand they just wanted to get it done and get it over with. Monique kept coming back in. She looking for the graham crackers. She looking for the marshmallows. She looking for the chocolate. Like, she kept finding a reason. And they kept saying, listen, we'll be out there in a minute. We'll be out there in a minute. We'll be out there in a minute. Well, they end up talking to Ashley. And I can only respect Giselle and Candiace in this situation. Giselle said, listen, I have learned how to be a better friend to Ashley. And the best way to handle this is for us to have this conversation. They didn't even show us footage of her telling Robin. And I'm sure she told Robin. But they didn't even have that moment. You know what I mean? So that says to me that Giselle really did take this seriously. They showed Ashley the text messages. They told Ashley what happened. And Ashley, you know, she took it in stride, you know. I'm going to take that two ways. The first way I'm going to take that is Ashley knows she's not going to give these ladies a moment. She's not going to give the cameras the moment. She's not going to give these ladies the moment. The other side is she wasn't that shocked. Maybe pissed off that Michael was that sloppy, but not shocked. So after they have the conversation, and Ashley says, listen, I really do appreciate it. I appreciate the way that you guys came to me. I appreciate the way that you handled it. And like Candiace said to her, she said, listen, at the end of this, I'm done with it. I don't need to know what happened. I don't need to know if it's true or not. It's not gossip to me. I'm coming to you because, you know, we're finally in a good place and I don't want to fuck it up. And I gotta respect Candiace for that. Like, y'all know I gave Candiace a whole lot at the beginning, but I gotta respect Candiace for that. I really, really do. So they end up going out to the fire pit and all that good stuff. And Giselle has to leave early because she's accepting a literary award for her her little book. I mean it like that, but her book that she did. So she's leaving early in the morning. So she goes to bed and Ashley ends up going to bed. She says she's tired, but I think she's processing, you know, she's processing. The rest of the ladies end up staying up all damn night getting drunk. Listen, y'all know them shady ass Bravo cameras, honey. They took in all of Karen's alcohol intake. Karen took 6 shots of Fireball. If y'all don't know what Fireball is, like cinnamon liqueur. She took 6 shots of that shit. Listen. 6 shots of anything is a lot. Anything. 6 shots of anything is a lot. But 6 shots of cinnamon liqueur, Karen. So, of course, she's slurring, and she gets the slurring about marrying an older man, and her and Ray, and what's going on with her and Ray, and how she felt about the tax situation, and he got her and stuff that, you know, that wasn't her for her to get into. And then she started talking about, you know, her hoo-ha and things. Then she turns to Candiace and Monique and says, you know, I really want you guys to work this out. Like, I really want y'all to be in a better place. And Monique says, you know what? I'm really enjoying the moment. I want us to just sit in this moment. I really don't want to take it take it there. I really don't want to go nowhere with it. Let's just sit in this moment right here. And so Karen leaves it there. But, honey, Karen was drunk as hell. Do you hear me? I mean, drunk. So the next morning they're up, and Karen is up like, listen, she's up like a trooper, honey. Karen was up whatever time I think they said her last shot was 9 shots. She drank that whole damn bottle. So the next morning, Chris comes. He's the first guy. All the guys are coming, but Chris was the first one to get there. Juan can't come because he has a game he's coaching. He's coaching his son's football team, and they had a game that day. Giselle's gone, so Jamal ain't coming. Who else didn't come? I feel like somebody else didn't come, but maybe not. But Chris was the first one there. Oh, Michael didn't come. I think Wendy's husband was the next person to arrive. And she was happy to see him. You know, everybody's happy to see their man. Everybody happy to see their man. You know, Chris was like, how y'all get along? How did, you know, the ladies get along or whatever? And, you know, Monique was like, hey, it was what it was. It was what it was. So they had breakfast come in and everything. And Monique makes a statement to Candiace when she comes downstairs talking about how she feels like it was inconsiderate of them and that she planned these events and that they didn't come to the fire pit, and she felt very disrespected because they didn't extend the courtesy. And Ashley ends up telling them what happened. You know, she said, listen, they wanted to talk to me because they got some information. And when Ashley starts telling the story, Monique is rolling her eyes. Monique was like, well, I don't care what the issue was. Like, it's not, I don't really care what the issue was. It's just the disrespect. It's just the lack of consideration. And I'm thinking to myself, see, Monique, you the kind of person that I don't want to go on vacation with. Because then she starts making this about her beef with Candiace and the whole Sharice thing. And this one has absolutely nothing to do with the other. Your beef with Sharice and Candiace is your beef with Sharice and Candiace. What happened the night before with the whole fire pit situation and Giselle and stuff, that one had nothing to do with the other. And Monique, you know, I've been riding with Monique on this one, but on this one, I can't because you're wrong. You wrong. And Monique is the kind of person that I would not want to go on vacation with. Now, they done everything you wanted them to do, Monique. They went fishing. Okay? They didn't want to do that. They went out to the restaurant. You know, they what else did they do? They had the little cook-off and everything. They have been catering to you this whole time. And the one time 3 of the ladies want to deviate from it, you're upset because everybody didn't rush down to the damn fire pit and make fucking s'mores. Monique, I can't. You were wrong because there was a couple of things going on. One, you were tired. Okay, you were tired because the night before, you know, because she ended up passing out at the end of the day. So first of all, you were tired. Second of all, you were irritated at Chris because he didn't do things the way you wanted him to do things. Third, because you wanted him to cook on the grill, and he said, we're just going to cater the food. He didn't feel like cooking. It was your birthday, and you felt like it should go your way. Third of all, you were irritated at Candiace because you're mad at Candiace. So, I honestly don't feel like that conversation would have went that way had it been Robin and Giselle and Ashley. Had it been Wendy and Robin and Ashley. I think because Candiace was a part of that equation, Monique was irritated. And it didn't matter what the reason was, she was going to be mad. Because in my mind, once Ashley explained what it was, and that they were trying to be respectful, and that they didn't want to come to her and do it in front of the whole group, and they were trying to pull her aside. In that moment, Monique should have said, I get it. I get it. And I even understand why y'all lied. I get it. Because that's what she should have done in that moment. It said, okay. All right, I get it. But she didn't do that. She didn't back down. And she really doubled down, because she ends up arguing with Ashley about it. I mean, with Candiace about it again. And Candiace was like, why are you giving me all this smoke? And she was like, because Giselle ain't here. So, I mean, it's got to come to you because Giselle's not here for me to give it to. And I'm like, but you shouldn't be giving it to anybody, because it's just not that. It wasn't, in the grand scheme of things, it just wasn't that serious. I could see if they missed the whole excursion. They came down to the fire pit. They ate s'mores. I don't. And then for her to say, well, it was just the lie and the I just want people to be as considerate to me as I am to them. And I'm thinking to myself, but how, you didn't think that that was considerate of Giselle and Candiace to pull her aside? You don't think that was considerate to think of her feelings and not expose that whole situation to the whole group? You didn't think that was considerate? Oh, and I take back what I said. We did see Giselle talk to Robin about the text messages. My bad. I take that back. But even then, again, it wasn't done like, you know, gossipy kind of thing. So, with that being said, honey, poor Ashley is upstairs hiding because, you know, she really don't feel like being around the rest of the group. And she processing, you know, everything that went down. She feeling some kind of way. She didn't have to tell the whole group about what happened. You know, whatever. And like I said, they end up having a whole nother conversation out by the pool. Karen comes out there. She's still hungover from the night before, child. Robin goes to make a joke to Karen about, yeah, I heard you drank all of that Fireball last night. And Karen hit her with the, what are you talking about, Robin? What do you mean? Girl, you drank the whole bottle of Fireball the night before. Don't you listen. The camera don't lie. They got you on camera drinking all the damn Fireball, okay? Just deal with it. You drank the damn Fireball. Okay. And like I said, the whole conversation came up again with Monique throwing little jabs at Candiace and starting the argument all over again. And Candiace ends up walking away. Again, to Candiace's credit, rather than continue to argue with Monique, Candiace got up and walked away. She said, I'm not going to argue with you, Monique. I'm not going to do it. You can argue by yourself because I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. And I just don't understand what, like, again, Monique, I've been rocking with you, but on this one, I just can't. Now, Candiace wanted to leave. She was packing up her shit. But she said Chris, her husband and Monique's husband, they are legit friends. Like, I think they hang out outside of this, and they actually are cool. And she said, so I didn't want to take this time away from him. I'm just going to push it out. But, yeah, I got my eye on her because I ain't really rocking with this situation. I'm not cool with how this whole thing is going down. But, okay, I'm going to keep my eye open. So, Wendy's husband shows up, and we find a little bit more information about Wendy, and come to find out that Wendy and her husband are both from Nigeria, but somewhere along the line, when Wendy met up with her husband, and she said they met when they were 17 years old. You know, they've known each other their whole life, and that, you know, they ended up, you know, falling in love and getting married, and that his mother was not down with it, and his mother stopped speaking to him because he didn't want her to marry Wendy. Mother stopped speaking to him, and even told their friends and family for them not to go to the wedding. And so he has not spoken to his mother since he married Wendy. I think they've been married 8 years, and they've got 3 kids. And he says, you know, she has never met her grandkids. She has no relationship with her grandkids. And they asked Wendy, they said, well, would you be able to forgive her? Like, because Karen was like, listen, I hear it and I get it and I understand it, but life is short. And if there is a road to a reconciliation and to, you know, to reconnect, would you be open to it? And he said he would be. And Wendy said she wouldn't. Because Wendy said, listen, Wendy said, because I had to wipe those tears. Like, I was there to wipe those tears. So, yeah, no, I'm not open to it. And I see both sides of that coin. Like I said, I definitely see the side of the coin that says, no, I'm not down. But then I see the other side of the coin as well to say, listen, life is short and that's your mom. So I see it. I hope they can. Now listen, if y'all want to get a little bit more scoop on that, I ain't going to bring it in this video, but y'all go check out Layla Lynn on YouTube. She got a little more information about some theories about that situation, about why they not friends, they not cool. But you go check that out. Anyway, and by this time, Karen's husband is there, Ray. And so all the guys that are coming are there, and they, you know, the caterer's there with the food, and they eat, and they break bread, and all that great stuff. And so they say, hey, we want the guys to let's get to know the guys a little bit better. And so they end up playing this game of imitating your wife. And let me tell you something. Ray did a good job of imitating. Oh, and Karen starts getting dizzy, honey, and need a ginger ale. I'm like, yeah, because you hung over. But they made it seem like it's something that Karen has been dealing with. She said, I'm dizzy again. And she pulls Ray aside, and they go into the room where she was saying, and she tells him, I'm dizzy again. I'm dizzy again. Now, again, I don't know what you drinking at home in Potomac, but I know right now you are hungover. Okay? That's what you are. Wendy's husband does a good job of imitating her. You know, the whole thing of, what do I look good in this? Do I look good in that? Do I look good in this? Well, I'm going to wear this anyway. You know, that whole thing. I'm going to say the funniest one, I would say, has to go to Candiace's husband, Chris, because he came in imitating, doing the whole, I'm Miss America, or I'm Miss United States, or whatever her title was. And then he goes and he comes back with a knife, and he's screaming and hollering. And I was like, you know what? That's hilarious. I think the raunchiest one goes to Chris Samuels, who picks up, y'all may not have ever seen those big Heineken bottles. I forgot how many liters it is. I want to say it's 3 liters, but don't quote me on that, child. But it's huge. It's one of those big Heineken bottles. My cousin actually has one. He turned it into he drank it for New Year's one night, and he's turned it into a lamp. Chris takes it, and he holds it up to his mouth as if imitating Monique doing fellatio. And then I was like, oh my. And of course, the rest of the girls and guys are like shocked by it. So I don't know. It was interesting, but like I said, Candiace's husband was the funniest. Okay. Now, so then we see everybody leaving, and Monique actually ends up falling asleep on the couch, and Candiace thinks that she's pretending to be asleep so that she doesn't have to say goodbye to her. But Monique really was falling asleep, because she was falling asleep when Chris was trying to talk to her, and she was sleepy. She was tired, and so I think it was legit. I don't think that was shade. I think that was just coincidence. So they end up going back home, and they show us 24 hours later. We see Ashley calling Michael, and she's in the car calling Michael, and Michael's being very short with her and, you know, a little disrespectful. And she says that they did have a conversation, and he did admit to some things, but, you know, the argument started getting a little heated, and so she sort of ended the argument. I think he slept in the other room or something to that effect. And then the next day, they show us where another story broke, where someone had pictures of Michael actually in a hotel room with him in his boxes, honey. So, you know, next week we'll have the rest of that conversation. And next week is the episode with the fight. So we will definitely see how that plays out. Anyway, honey, let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.